Good morning, good morning. Happy Tuesday. Hope everyone's having a great morning and a great trading session so far. Sorry for my absence. Yesterday was just not gonna be a good day for me to get on, but I'm here. Good morning, Amelia. How are you this morning? All right, so I did roll over my contracts. I am going to be sim trading today because I think I need to switch up a few things. One of which being, instead of looking at volume to determine my entry, I might need to look at the number of ticks in the swing instead. I'm not completely sure, but that's what I think. So I'm going to be trying that today. Because there are times where the volume is high. So like, let's say for instance, there's more volume in this swing than this one. Let's say it's opposite. Let me see. Let me see if I could just find a good example actually. There's gotta be one here somewhere. Okay, like here. So you can see the volume of this swing down 621, the volume of this swing down is 434. So you would think, okay, it's lower volume, the market can be showing exhaustion. But if you look at the number of ticks, there's actually more bars in this swing than that one, even though the volume is less than that one. And I was looking at that not too long ago, I would say a few weeks ago, and I never really confirmed anything or confirmed whether I wanted to pay attention to it or not. And I think it's more important than I want it to be. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to pay attention to that. News on the session. We just had high impact news. I got like 30 more seconds before I could trade. And then also there's 9 a.m. low impact news, and then we're done from there. Good morning, Nate. How are you this morning? Not heavy field news day, yeah. Good morning, Applejacks. How are you this morning? So yeah, I didn't even see all the other stuff. I don't ever pay attention to what happens before 8:30. But yeah, so because of those little nuances that seem really small that aren't really small, I'm going to just sim trade today. I'm only going to trade pullbacks because I want to test this theory, and then I will probably go from there. Was I green? Oh, I was green lighted to trade. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to be doing today. We'll just see what happens. It's too much. And looks like the market is moving a little too much for my blood. Good morning, Diego. How are you this morning? Alrighty, Diego. I am gonna stay on the whole time, but I won't be taking too many trades anyway, because this is a little cuckoo today. Actually, wait, that doesn't make sense. This is a good example. Buyers look heavy here because the swing is 325 volume versus 144. However, we went 3 less bars, which is 6 less ticks in that swing up, and you see how that reversal didn't really go anywhere. We pushed down to create divergence, and then we pushed up. So yeah, that's why I'm kind of thinking that it's going to be kind of important. And I'm annoyed because I don't want to go back through data and stuff, which I probably won't. Scalping firms with intraday type setting was easier than holding and getting payouts from. Nice. I agree with you. I personally don't when you have intraday drawdown, I just don't think that holding trades for so long makes sense. And then also, to be honest with you, most people who I see who go on tilt and other things like that is usually because they are frustrated that their trade didn't work out, that they sat in for so long, right? So my thought process, like I can't really talk myself out of a trade if I'm not in it but for more than a few seconds. But also I have a mechanical strategy, so it's a little bit different as well. However, I just personally think that, like, I just rather have my fate in a few seconds than like 20 minutes. There's nothing worse than being up, let's say 10 points, but I'm going for 20 points and I move my stop loss to break even. I get the break even hit and then it goes straight to my TP. That'll piss me off, actually. Used to hold and get blessed every time. Wasted 3 years on Apex trying to hold. Listen, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. Now, if you have a maybe if you're trading with a company that has end of day drawdown, it kind of makes sense. But to me, if it's not intraday drawdown, sure, holds. But you also have to think about your own trading psychology. Like, what does your psych look like? I can hold through trades. It's no problem. I'm not going to get FOMO. I'm not going to like go on tilt because I messed something up, whatever. But most people are not like that. But I also know that I can get frustrated if, all right, everything's been looking good, but now some random news event just happened and it knocked me out of the trade. That'll piss me off. Right? So yeah, I think you just have to know yourself too. Why is this market move so? You know what? Maybe it's because it's rollover day. I did see some people rolled over on Friday, which wait, no, Monday, yesterday. I didn't even get on the charts at all. But yeah, I don't know what the market looked like yesterday at all. Was it like this? Good morning, Pred. How are you this morning? Good morning, good morning. Because this is a little crazy. Just a tad. I don't even know. NQ roll today for you? Okay, volume. Got you. Yeah, I definitely saw, was that yesterday? I feel like I didn't even watch. No. Oh, wait, that's not what I wanted to do. this channel. Yeah, I knew I wasn't tripping. I watched a recap of Trades by Matt from Friday, and he said Friday was rollover day. That's why I was confused. Like, huh? Okay, now I know I'm not tripping. Now I know. All right, I just need the market to slow down a little bit because I don't, my brain. Trying to think right now. So how was trading for you guys yesterday? Did anybody trade yesterday? I was super disconnected. Good morning, Trenches. How are you this morning? The shorts were incredible. Let me see what the market looks like. Ah, well, that's yesterday, right? Yeah. Nice. I swear it's the days where I'm like, I know for sure I'm not going to trade today. There's no thought process behind, like, I just know I'm not going back and forth. I'm not trading. It's always those days where the market moves really well. And then the days where I'm like, oh my God, I barely slept. I really just want to sleep in. I just don't really want to get on the charts, but I'm going to force myself to get on the charts. And then we have a super slow, low volatility, range bound day like we did. What was that, Monday and Tuesday last week? It's just like, knew I could have stayed in bed. Definitely knew it. All right, so the other thing I'm trying to figure out is which one of these indicators I want to use to determine my trend direction. I got rid of the market structure indicator and was just using the half trends, which, if I'm not mistaken, I think that I read somewhere that Ninja like stole this from him. I don't know how true that is. But yeah. I don't know which one I want to use actually. So that's why you'll see like right now they're not agreeing. This one changed to an uptrend already. This one just did just now. So until I can figure out which one I like better, that's just what I'm gonna do. Oh wait, did I write that wrong? I did, because I'm a goofball. All right. Oh, we already closed. Great. That's not what I wanted. Oh, that's why you saw it's down today. How many accounts do you have with TPT? Are you maxed at the 5? I really do. So I did some heavy like reorganizing data, especially from last week, and all of that or whatever. And I think the missing piece is looking at the number of ticks instead of the freaking volume. I really do think that. Which kind of sucks. So number of ticks. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh wait. Oh, I like that. Yeah, I feel like ticks needs to make more sense. Because this would basically mean it took more volume. I mean, it took less volume to travel further. And that's like, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to do that. Good morning, Groovy. How are you this morning? Good morning, good morning. You woke up at 6 and you've been up since? I've been up since, what time did I wake up? Like midnight. I've been up since midnight, I'm pretty sure. Good morning, Janelle. How are you this morning? Applejacks, you're cold? Me too. Look, I got a blanket right here on me. I'm freezing. All right, so this is what I'm thinking, and this is what I'm gonna have to do. It's gonna take me a minute, but I'm probably just gonna, today I'm gonna focus on going back through this data and marking ticks. If the number of ticks and the volume do not correlate, I need to mark that out so I can see the difference. I also think that like this pullback with the higher low to higher high to higher low, I got another minute before I can trade, so I'll just explain this. I think this type of pullback requires something different than this is technically a type of pullback where we're lower low to lower high to higher low. So we have to basically overpower the sellers here. And that's also different from, try to go back to like here where we go from a lower low to a higher high to a higher low. Those are three different types of pullbacks. And I think that they require different things. And the best way to explain it is, I think that, not that I've been thinking about things backwards, but I have to remember that the price action and the structure that I see on the charts, it's a lot easier to see it on Renko's, right? But price action is caused by the order flow and the volume that's happening, not the other way around. And so because of that, that's why I think that I need to separate them based on the actual structure of the move. Versus like trying to put it all into one, like all the pullbacks, this is what I'm looking for. I don't think I can do that. I used to trade them separately. I put them back together. It's kind of been like a all around thing, but I definitely think I need to separate them. It's just like the divergences. There are 4 different types of divergences. And they all mean different things, right? Like this pullback that started this trend here. All right, well, this is, we went into a higher high. The sellers slammed down volume and the number of ticks. So they completely took over the buyers and we're transitioning into a downtrend. That's totally different than, okay, we're already in a downtrend, whether it's counter trend or with the trend. We're already in a downtrend now. So now this pullback from the lower low to the lower high to the lower low to the lower low is completely different because the trend is already technically established. So that's going to look way different than this when we're just trying to start the trend. And I'm a little irritated because I feel like some of these principles are things that I've already had an inkling about, but it's like, oh, I think that's minor, let's not do that. Or I think that's going to complicate things, let's not do that. But the reason why I know it's important is because when I went through and I categorized a bunch of data from last week and then also another day, I think it was like December 1st, one thing I noticed is that each of those 3 different types of pullbacks they have different consistent volume patterns. That makes sense. And that's what made me think like, oh shoot, I think I kind of hoed myself. I think I did, I'm pretty sure. What is this? 110, more like. So now I have to put in the work to fix it. All right, these are not agreeing. We changed to an uptrend already with this indicator, but this one we wouldn't change until up here. I feel like I like this one better, because you can see how, like, okay, it's saying that we changed to an uptrend, but look at how we're moving here. It's not clean. And for, let's see, that was a deeper pullback though, the volume and the number of ticks. So I don't know, but they're definitely not agreeing, and I have to figure out, and they don't do, it doesn't do this all the time. To me, it doesn't most when it's a little choppy because we keep changing trends back and forth. The market's trending, it doesn't really matter because they're not going to disagree. But I have to figure out which one is more stable and which one is more reliable. So that's a task I have at the moment. All right, now they agree. 20. It's a very deep pullback. All right. Janelle, are you still having to figure out how to balance with your long-term portfolio with the way the market's been moving lately? You read about 700. What have you been taking? Buys or sells? One of the other reasons I kind of want to go back to the market structure indicator instead is because I like how it maps out the rotation levels, which I still feel like should be treated opposite of the color that they have, because this buy rotation level is drawn off of a double top at a lower high. So why would I want to treat that as support, you know? So 63. Hold on, you guys. I scalped minis last night, Asian session. I usually trade micros to what excuse inconsistent size, and even though I'll answer that when I get off the stream. I don't agree with these market conditions at that time. Shut the hell up, girl. Probably about to sit on your hands until 10. Applejack, be quiet. You are crazy. Just crazy. But touche. Touche. All right, I might try a. Why would you be equal? Stupid. That's equal to. Give and take both. Choppy. Yeah. On the Renkos, I don't see choppiness very much, except when we were up there at the pivot level. But on the time-based chart, definitely choppy. Bro, what the hell? I keep looking at the wrong number, 37. I forgot I switched this damn thing. I just really have a feeling that the ticks are gonna be more important than volume. And I'm legit gonna be hella fucking annoyed. Alright, I'm gonna try to take like at least 2 or 3 trades. I'm just in like super deep thought because I've been looking over this stuff for like the last probably 6 hours. Don't like that one. Yeah, you see how this sell rotation level is painted off a higher low? Shouldn't that be treated as a support level and not resistance? $36. 38. 39. And we're equal. I'm stupid. That's the trade I like right there, but okay. $5.10 in London, still taking L's more. I will not be taking a withdrawal from my. Oh no. So Janelle, what do you think? How are you planning to balance or adjust? That's two different things. Trade green, not a terrible trade. Nice, Amelia. Would have liked a little bit more. Was it a little too choppy for you? You want a burger for lunch with so much stress. Oh my gosh, you guys. So yesterday, after I got myself together, I decided to do a seafood boil for me, my mom, my sister, my aunt, and my grandma. Because I honestly really was craving one Friday. But I knew the time my sister had to trade to work, it just was not going to work out. And then I didn't want to do it Saturday because I felt like after her shift Saturday, she was just going to be like too sleepy. So I was like, all right, well. And then Sunday, I just had like a terribly emotional day. So that just X'd that one out. So I'm like, all right, I know it's Monday, but my aunt's off work on Mondays and I'm still craving the seafood boil. So we're going to get it cracking. Yeah, we are. And that's what I did. I sure did. And it was so good. So good. But yeah, that food was so good. And let me tell y'all, so my granny, so we had some wine. And so my granny was like, yeah, I want some wine with mine, da 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 da, whatever. So she was drinking her wine. Fill me up again. That little glass. Let me tell y'all, after that second glass, honey, baby girl was tipsy. And she was like, whew, I'm tipsy. She was out of there. You hear me? Wait, why do I have a stop at 10? Hello? What was that? Oh, I think that's something that I added. Oh yeah, we're not gonna do that. Go back to 25. The hell? We don't like it. But anyway, so they were supposed to go somewhere. I'm like, Granny, baby, I don't think you're gonna make it. Like, you think you need to just go, lay down for a little bit? Baby, she went over to that couch, reclined herself, and she was out of there. My auntie, out of there. My sister, only reason she didn't fall asleep is because she had to go to work. My mom sent me a picture of my granny was asleep with her mouth wide open. She talking about, do not give them nothing else. I'm like, shoot, the food was good, the wine was good, they was good. But we had a blast. Here go my granny. I feel so rich. I mean, it's just a Monday afternoon and we're just casually eating shrimp and crab. I'm like, girl, be quiet. She took it to the head, honey. Okay? We was cracking up. I'm like, girl, you need to pace yourself. And it was just some, what is the brand from Aldi? Like, something owl, I think. That's what we had. I didn't drink any wine. I just had a water. Oh, that's actually not what I tried to do, but I'm gonna probably lose it because I didn't try to do it. I was trying to take the order off, not keep it on. Of course. But anyway, whatever the wine is actually pretty good. Pretty freaking good. Letting the chips fall where they may. My larger portfolio is still green by 13%. Well, that's good. That's good. We had a good time. I'm surprised. Now, even though my mama sent the picture, her ass probably fell asleep too. But so I used to, whenever I would do a seafood boil, I would cook enough for us to have like for a second day, but really that stuff is not that great warmed up. Maybe the sausage and potatoes. I didn't even do potatoes this time, but my grandma, she doesn't eat crab legs. She just feels like that's too much work. So we all, except my grandma, had about 1.5 pounds of crab legs. I would say probably about maybe 7 jumbo shrimp, like 4 pieces of sausage, which is like a half of the no, a little less than half of like one whole like turkey sausage, the one that comes in like the U shape. So we had that and like 2 pieces of corn each. So it was like just enough food, but it was so good. Ah, dang, that technically was a trade, but the TP's already hit. Excuse me. Alright, I got 10 minutes left. The wine sneaks up on you though. You're a lightweight. I honestly, I have not been tipsy that many times in my life or drunk. I've only been drunk like twice ever. And so the first time I ever got drunk was like probably back in, I don't know, maybe like 2015. Then the second time I got drunk was last summer. No, this past summer actually, for my cousin's birthday. And it was only because his friend kept calling me a PUSSY because I wouldn't keep drinking. First of all, we met up early because we were supposed to get food first before everybody got there. Somehow, some way, we lost sight of what was supposed to be happening, okay? So he's like, you're not drinking enough, blah, blah, blah. I'm just gonna, oh, that was a very crazy rejection. I just took that one just cause. But anyway, yeah, we never got food. And I intermittent fast. I fasted before I got there. So I had no food on my stomach at all. Let's start there. Okay? Let's start there. I had no food on my stomach. So, you know, he just kept challenging me. And yeah. It was peer pressure. At my big grown age, it was peer pressure. Y'all, I was so drunk. By the time my cousin got there, we were still sitting out in the car outside of the bar. And my cousin pulled up and he like, yo, what up? And I'm looking, I'm like, what up? He was like, oh, no, don't tell me you drunk. I'm like, yeah. It was so bad. I was like, yo, it's no way I can actually walk into the bar. It's no way. It's no way it's gonna happen. I can't. I physically cannot. So his friend had to stay out there until I finally threw up and felt good enough to walk into the bar. Yeah. And I haven't drank very much since then because are we really gonna reject here? Why? Unless, no, there's heavy volume there. But the sellers are heavier. But yeah. Yes, y'all, it was so bad. Like, it was so, so bad. Yeah. Y'all see how I clown now? That's why I stay away from alcoholics. And the thing is, I don't even know why I even drank as much as I did that night because, girl, who are you? And what are you doing? What are you doing? I don't know. But since then, I haven't, let me see, that was in June. My cousin's girlfriend's birthday is in July. I drank a little bit that night, like a couple of shots. They're not very much, guys. Not much. And yeah, that's really the last time I consumed alcohol besides, you know, a wine cooler here and there. I don't really drink. I am a firm believer that a lot of people who, I'm just gonna straight up call it, abuse drugs, and alcohol is included, is that they are trying to escape from something. And yeah, that's what I'm gonna say about that. And I just am the person where I don't really have anything to escape from. So yeah, I don't need a drink. I don't. I'm gonna take this buy right here at 363. I got like 5 minutes left. Oh, come on, why are you taking so long? Now it's too much volume there. I liked this trade initially, but maybe it needs to be, it might need to be opposite of what I was looking for there. Oh, not we're at a super old overnight high level. I don't even know how long that's been on my charts. Oh, that's not. You want to know something? Hold on. Where's the... here? Wait, how? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. See, that's normally a pattern that works whether it's ticks or whether I'm going based off of ticks or volume. It just didn't work out that time, but this is why I'm just sim trading, because I'm just going through thoughts in my head. Stuff mess with my system. Oh no, wine cooler. Yes. Good. Where you been? Good morning. How are you? Hello. Hi. But yeah, Paul, wine cooler. Listen, I'm a lightweight. I don't drink like alcohol. I can't do it. I can't. So this went less volume, more. Oop, it's the for me. Get him. What do I want to do here? So bro, what's the difference there? There's no difference besides the bar not being. Oh, wait. Yeah. Oh, no, I don't want to have to do that. Oh, Jesus. Okay, I think I see what the issue is now. I don't want to have to be that meticulous. That's actually gonna piss me off. Like in real life. Fuck. It actually will. So I might have to look at volume and ticks, and that will actually irritate me. All right, so I'll give you guys the example. here, this divergence. So structurally, it's gonna piss me off. All right, so let's pretend like we can't see the volume here. All right, so let's just pay attention to the number of bars in the swings. Oh, I'm so mad. Okay, so what we're looking at, we're gonna look at I started to do this a while ago, like probably like 2 months ago. I was looking at this. All right, we're gonna look at this divergence attempt and this one. Oh, great, good, because it's getting hot in here. Anyway, okay, so if we look here, here, and here. Okay, so you can see that the attempt to push up this time right here was not that great. Volume's low and the number of ticks. So we didn't travel far. There wasn't a lot of volume and we also didn't travel far. On the first, well, technically this will be the second because I always get in on the third. So I look at the first attempt, I look at the second attempt versus the first attempt, and then I'm looking to get in here. All right, so volume is low, effort is low as well. So what I'm trying to figure out in this pullback here, so let's pretend like we can't see what happens after. Well, I got to do that so I could see the number. So anyway, so pretending like we can't see the volume, you can see that on this pullback here, there's 16 bars versus this one was 29. So you would think like, all right, well, that means that the sellers are starting to dry up. It might be time to buy. So when we look at the volume down here, this is a really high volume bar, which can signal that sellers are really strong, A, or it can signal that the sellers are actually weak because they're attempting to push really hard through the support level and they're not really getting very far, because you can see we had a 40 tick or a 10-point reversal shortly after this very high volume bar there. Volume is low on this bar here. All right, so we can see that that attempt failed. So now we look here and here for this attempt. So again, pretending like volume is not a factor, you can see that we pushed down 16 bars. Now we push down 7 bars. So we can see that we expanded here, 18 bars versus 29. So there was an expansion. There was a contraction here, but price didn't move much. Now we have another contraction, but this time price moved up 60 ticks or 30 bars. Here's the difference between the plays, because you can see that again we have a really high volume bar here, which is this one, and the reversal bar is lower than the highest volume bar. So again, we either need to figure out if the sellers are really strong here or if they're weak and it's time to reverse. The literal only difference between these two trades is that if you look here, volume on this swing was lower than this one, and the number of ticks was lower as well. But this one's different. Look how the volume is really high. It's 871 versus 597, but the number of ticks that we moved was less. That right there is a classic exhaustion move, basically. And that is why after that one, the price finally went up 30 bars, 60 ticks, 15 bars. I mean, 15 points. I'm all over the place. I'm sorry. But this is something that I was looking into like literally a couple of months ago. But I genuinely just felt like, oh, this is just overkill. I don't feel like I need to really pay attention to this that much, blah, blah, blah. But no, I do. Because even look here on this pullback. Look how we pulled back 7 bars, 7 right here, for 871 volume. This pullback, we pull back the same number of bars, 7 bars. Now, if I was on a 1 tick threshold instead of 2 ticks, it would be, the number of bars would probably be different. 25. Actually, no, they would still be the same number. So we pull back the same number of bars, but for less volume, right? So that means that price is attempting to expand because it took less volume to go the same distance. So that means that the sellers are really trying to take over here. It can also be liquidity grabs and things like that. And so that would make sense why the volume on the entry bar here needs to be high, because the buyers have to legit like force the sellers back out of the market. And boom, there's what? A 72 tick move off of that reversal bar. What's annoying to me is I've already seen this happening, and I tried to put it out of my mind that it mattered, but it matters. And I even used ChatGPT. ChatGPT told me it mattered. Matter of fact, I can tell you guys, I did this October. I was legit looking at this. I remember it was in October, because I even wrote down, and I think I've talked about this once on the stream before when I was re-looking at it, and I was like, baby, that's just too much. I don't feel like looking at all this shit. All right, here we go. Exact date is October 26th. I literally asked ChatGPT to make an explanation for when the ticks, the number of ticks or the distance, and the effort or the volume are a mismatch. And there's 4 different volume variations of swings. And so I asked it to explain to me when those variations, when those ticks and the volume are different. And it did an amazing job of doing so. But then I just said, fuck that. I don't feel like looking at that. Your volume levels are being cut through like butter. Oh, goodness. Oh, wait a minute. Not fuck that job. Jesus Christ. Gold has been trash except today. Really? Started trading on. Hold on, wait. Janelle, what's MK? What's that? What is that? So I got some work to do. I have some work to do. But I also hope that if this is something I have to pay attention to, that I can legit only pay attention to the swing volume, like the pullback volume, and that's it. I don't have to pay attention to anything else. That's what I'm hoping. But I don't know. I feel like nothing else should really honestly matter. But I could be wrong. Oh, this is so annoying. Oh, Russell, I got you. The Russell's not bad though. The Russell can sometimes have better trends than the other indices for real. I used to love trading the Russell on a 10 tick chart, a 10 tick Renko chart, baby. Swings all day, every day. So you've been trading NQ. You look at the Russell too? Yeah, the Russell's not bad. By the way, I finally found one of my old notebooks. I need to go through it. One of my old trading notebooks I found last night. Actually, I was looking for something and I didn't realize it was in this nightstand that I have that has one of my MacBook in there that I don't literally ever use. And yeah, I found it and I was trying to see like some of the stuff that I was doing before, and I'm just like, goodness gracious. I was using a couple of different indicators and stuff that were really nice to use, honestly, but The only reason I don't want to go back to trading that way is just genuinely because I don't feel like trading all day. Some of my trades were scalps, some of them were not. I just, I can't and I won't. I really need to turn some heat on. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get out of here because I have a lot to freaking look over, and I'm kind of annoyed that I even have to look over this stuff. But hopefully I have like a little baseline of what I'm looking for, at least for pullbacks, maybe even divergence, and that way I can get some actual trades in tomorrow. I'll let you guys know though. But yeah, I'm just gonna look over this for the next few hours until I'm too tired and need to go to sleep because I've been up since midnight. But I thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Please like the video on your way out if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. But other than that, I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye guys.